Your makeup completely melts off in the summer, then you need to watch this video because this is what you need to be doing. First of all, the prep really matters. So you need to control the oil and you need to grip what you put on your face. That is where Chill It and Glaze It are the perfect pair. Chill It is literally like the most lightweight moisturizer to exist, and this is very important because you do not want to put heavy products on your face in the summer. On an extremely hot day where you're sweating, you don't need an extremely thick moisturizer. You want something that just feels like literal water gel on the face. Not to mention, this is so cold and refreshing on the skin. This is going to control oil, and it's also really good for acne-prone skin. And you're going to glaze it. This is one of the most lightweight gripping primers on the market. It's not thick, it's not goopy, it's not overly sticky, but it has polymers, and it's going to grip that makeup onto your skin. This literally won an award for the best primer, which is like so iconic. It is so thin, it immediately breaks on the skin. They're literally going to be your hero summer skincare products. Trust me when I say the foundation you choose can make or break this whole fucking thing. This is just my opinion, but I don't think anyone does it like the Maybelline Super Stay line. Either the skin tint, if you want something really thin, lightweight, and the coverage is customizable, or the Super Stay 30-hour Lumi Matte. Both of these are very lightweight, very thin, and they're not going to feel heavy on the face. I am going to do the 30-hour Lumi Matte. When I tell you the lasting power on this shit is absolutely insane. It's even good for like weddings. You can see that this shit is full coverage, but it feels like nothing on the face. And it's matte, but it doesn't make you look dry. I don't like the matte foundations that just make you look completely flat and lifeless. Like, this keeps the life in your skin. Like, look at how literally perfect that looks on my skin. And the prep underneath is going to help keep this gripped onto the skin and control that oil. For blush and bronzer, you can literally do whatever you usually do. I always do the cream and powder method where I start with the cream. I'm going to use the Milani. I like this one because I find it lightweight, but it's very long lasting. Lately, I love a nose contour. I'm going to recommend a matte concealer. It doesn't matter what the level of coverage is, but I do recommend matte. And just a little. Just where you need additional coverage, a little brightness. Remember, we don't want it to feel like there is a ton of makeup on the face. And I'm blending this in with a brush. Now we are getting somewhere. I'm going to add blush. This is ColourPop blush sticks. And honey, you can put as little or as much blush as you want. I don't give a damn. Now this step is very important, okay? And this is a personal bias I have. We're going to use a shit ton of powder. But important, it has to have talc. It is not easy to come across a talc powder anymore. In fact, the one I'm using is literally discontinued. But the talc is the secret ingredient to that blurred, oil-controlled matte skin. Look at how smooth that just made my under eye area compared to this side. Wow. I am literally going to set my entire face with this powder. I'm not going to touch the blush area though. I'd rather set the blush with blush. And trust me, with that prep, with the thin foundation, the little amount of concealer, the lightweight layers, this powder's not going to look cakey. But here's the thing, you can't skip steps. You can't half-ass it. Like, the way my skin is starting to look is because I followed each step in the routine. Now, pro tip, if there is an area you particularly get oily, put a little extra powder and let it sit there for a sec. Now, this step is optional. I do it because I'm insane. I'm going to go in with a pressed powder now. So I did the loose. Now I'm going to do the press. Again, a powder with talc. Another powder I'm using that is discontinued because we hate talc, okay? I'm going to take this on a powder puff this time. The first time I used a damp sponge. The second time I'm using a powder puff. This is going to give more impact, more coverage. I want to use this to brighten my under eye. I like a brighter under eye. Again, that is optional, but look at the difference that just made. Wipe away any of the excess powder, and we are really starting to look flawless. I like to look really bronzy, so now I'm going to go in with a powder bronzer that I'm putting on top of the cream bronzer. And remember, everything I am putting on my face, I'm doing in light layers. I know to many people this may seem like a lot, but one of the most common makeup mistakes I see is people not wearing enough. If you're not doing all the reinforcement, if you're not doing the layering, the building, yeah, the makeup's just going to come off because you didn't properly lay it down. Come on, we can do this. One more thing I'm going to do blush-wise is put a little bit of powder blush on top of my cream blush. And oh my god, this painted Snuggle blush is like my favorite right now. If you like pale pink blush, now that we've applied all the powders, all the creams, we are going to set the shit out of my face with the One Size spray. You can use any setting spray you have, but it needs to contain butane and it needs to contain alcohol. That's what's actually gonna work. And don't be shy. Add your favorite lip combo. This makeup is actually insane. Like, I'm having such a good makeup day. The base is unreal. Now, you could wear this makeup to prom, a wedding, something outdoors in the summer, and it will last. Don't skip a step. Don't compromise on a step. Trust the process. You can do this lighter coverage. You can do it with different tones and colors, but I am absolutely obsessed and in love. I'm literally ready to be a baddie this summer with this look.